The weekly show, we talk about things going on in the world of Magic the Gathering, gaming, and pop culture. For episode 38, I'm your host, Justin Parnell, joined by my co host, Ali Aintrazi. This week, as some of you are seeing, well, probably not yet, but we are doing a kind of live episode of Thinktwice. And that is because
Why is that?
uh, director John Choi has decided to completely trash his computer absolutely on purpose so he cannot help us edit.
It's actually my fault. I actually enchanted him with dead weight.
With dead weight.
Yeah.
And well, he's only a 1/1, so you really
I
over
mean,
encumbered him with
I
the dead
know
weight.
it might carry over to next week. Who knows?
It might. Yeah, see, he's a -1/-1 now.
Yeah, it's gonna come back.
So we may be doing the same format next week, but we are obviously streaming live on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ThinkTwiceMTG. We're probably going to be doing this next week until Dr. Chad gets a new computer, but we're going to make the best we can. So, Ollie, this is usually the part where I ask you, what'd you do last week?
Nah, not too much. I played some Hex. Went X2 in Sealed and Standard. And missed top 8 on Breakers. And missed top 16 on Breakers. I got 32 in both. Top 13 in both of them.
That's rough.
That's a tilt. Like, and someone with my Breakers made top 8 in both formats. And it's just like, I'm just like, God darn it.
Stop me if you've heard this before.
I know, it's like every week. Dude, I'm like a dead record. It's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm this close. So close to like actually
Maybe Hex doesn't have the right number of rounds for their tournaments.
You have that, and I need to just win one more instead of losing one more. Like I need to get that
Yes.
little push, little extra. You know.
That is true, but dude, if you have someone that made top 8 with the same record as you, and you got at best 17th,
yeah, right.
I think they need more rounds.
I agree. I mean,
like one more round.
One more. That's not something I can control. All I can control is me
Not
doing
with
better.
that attitude, you can't.
I mean, all I can control is me doing better. So that's
true.
what I want to control.
That's what you can control right now. Yeah, I'd be banging down the doors on the Hex office.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should tweet at them or make a video, a Hex video, or like a little clip.
Maybe.
But also, I played some Pokemon. There's a new field research stuff coming on.
Yes.
With Mew and a bunch of other stuff.
Yep, I've done that as well.
How far are you?
I am on the third of 8 on the mythical quest for Mew.
Dang.
What are you on, like 6?
2.
2, okay.
I haven't been walking.
Yeah.
I need to walk.
I was able to walk because over the weekend I went to visit my girlfriend's brother and his sister-in-law in Richmond. We stayed at their house. We went to go play paintball for my first time ever. Don't try when you're 31 as your first time.
Did you get demolished?
No, I did not get demolished.
Okay.
I did not get demolished. As it turns out, I'm actually a pretty good shot, but I'm not very good at moving. So, on all of the games we played, I was good at like getting in a spot and like pinning people down, but I could never like escape unless I just wanted to like give myself up.
Nice.
So the very last game when we knew we were going to leave, because we just played for the whole day, like it was like $30 a person for the whole day, but you had to pay for your paintballs, right? So, and this was supposed to be my Christmas present to my girlfriend Meredith's 2 boys, Parker and Levi. Levi got shot like point blank, which actually pissed me off because it's some like 20-year-old douchebag in the very first game. And then he didn't want to play anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't either. That was my first experience.
Yep.
That hurts, man.
Yeah,
that hurts.
he was. Oh, he had a gigantic welt on his chest. Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's.
Anyway, so you pay for your paintballs, and then you kind of just go out there and play as long as you want. So on the last game when we all knew we were going to leave, we're like, all right, everyone just spend all your paintballs because we're just going to leave after this. So that was a time where I definitely shot the most people, but also got shot the most because I was just like, I'm leaving after this. So exactly, yeah. One guy was like, he was just like, because I could see like his body language, and he was like, he was behind this like old, basically because they have in these courses they have this old door.
Yeah.
And he was like behind this old door, and I kept like advancing on him, and I was just like, I'm literally just like unloading, and he like can't get up, and he's like looking around, he's like, oh, like what is this guy doing? Like he's gonna run out of paint, and I'm like, yes, I am.
This is what we're doing. You're dead.
And then I technically only got hit one time because we were playing like when you got 3 hits, like a 3-hit death match. But when I got hit once, and then I like raised my hand to say I was hit again, and then I got hit 2 more times, and then like the next 3 seconds I'm like, okay, I'm out. So that was fun. And then and we went to Busch Gardens also.
Oh, nice.
And that's where I got to get my walk on.
Okay, that makes sense.
A lot of egg walking and Pokestop getting. So
that's good.
That was a fun weekend.
Awesome.
We also last week had a question of the week, as I'm sure you are familiar.
I am.
So the question of the week last week was, what are you more excited for in MTG Arena, constructed or limited? Obviously, Ali picked constructed. Obviously, I picked limited. The voting populace chose 53% for limited, 32% for constructed.
Yeah,
so
lost.
Yeah. No, I mean, limited's better. 21% better.
I don't know about that, but I disagree.
That's what our viewers and listeners believe.
That's fair.
And that's also what I believe.
We can agree to disagree.
And we will.
All right.
Okay, so since we are not going to be doing any editorial work, we're not going to be doing any cutting and pasting of things to make this look nice, we're just going to plow through each of these topics. All right. So unless you want to hit us with some like transition music, usually we have some like do 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 do. Okay, so Ollie, we're back. Excellent.
Nice.
Hope you had a nice break.
I did.
Our first topic for today is something we talked about that we were going to do last week.
Oh god.
And that is when playing MTG Arena, which obviously you and I have been playing that a lot. We've been streaming it. A lot of our viewers and listeners have been playing that, and I imagine that those of you that don't have the closed beta keys, you're probably going to be getting them tomorrow, like soon.
Yeah, because I heard the stress test. Yeah,
there's going to be a stress test. Probably when the most of you are watching or listening to this. So a lot more people, I don't know, tens of thousands of people are going to be getting more beta keys. So as you go on and play, you're going to obviously encounter the wildcard system, which we talked about last week. Mm-hmm. So all we want to do this week, now it seems simple, but obviously there's a lot of thought behind this, is because wildcards are the most valuable resource in the game because they're going to turn into whatever you want. Common wildcards, uncommon, rare, mythic wildcards. These are things that are essentially, this is the crux of the economy of the game. Ali, last week we talked a lot about the economy, but we didn't cover specifically like how to best use your wild cards, because let's just say in a perfect world, you could play whatever you wanted. But you obviously need to get there by making sure that you can play cards for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. When you have a small collection in the beginning, and ultimately when you have a larger collection at the end, so you don't squander those resources, that very valuable wild card resource.
Right, of course, right. So we're going to talk about what is the best cards to craft or make these wild cards so that they carry over into other decks as well, not just like super narrow cards.
Exactly. We're mostly going to leave out, we're going to go uncommons, rares, and mythic rares. Do you have, I guess before that, do you have any commons that you want to specifically point out that people should be crafting? Even though common wild cards you get pretty freely, so you should be able to get these on a pretty easy basis. But obviously commons, are still important too. You just have them a lot more freely.
I mean, if you're building like a tribe, like cats or not zombies, vampires or pirates, there's some commons in there that you might want. But otherwise, commons are like the easiest ones to get, regardless of what you want.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to uncommons then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we picked out kind of roughly about one from each color for uncommons, rares, and mythic rares, just because this is generally represents for that rarity the most versatile card in each of those colors.
Yeah. The
So
ones that can carry over into other archetypes.
yeah, absolutely. Okay. What do you want to start with? We'll just alternate.
Sure. Start with uncommon, right? Let's start
Start
with
with uncommon.
uncommon. Um, I'll do black. We'll do black.
Okay.
Actually, you should do black. Black's your color, right?
It is my color.
How about you start then?
All right, so you're gonna give me the best card. Arguably, of all of the cards we're gonna say today, I actually think that uncommon Ravenous Chupacabra is probably the most important card you can craft because it will essentially go in every single black deck that you play.
Yeah, it's very good. It kills like the lords, everything. Yeah, it's great.
And you can play it in higher numbers than just about any other card. Virtually any other card that we're talking about today. There's a couple other cards on the list that also hit 4 of, but Ravenous Chupacabra is a 4 of that you're almost always happy to play. And if you don't play 4, that just means your deck is more tuned, essentially.
Yeah. It's just nice filler because there's a bunch of there's cards called Vanquish the Weak that are just cost 3 and kill a creature, or Impale. There's some really bad cards that cost 3 or 4 to kill stuff, and it's conditional. It's all right, I can just play Chupacabra, kill a creature. It's like a 2-for-1. It's clearly a winner. I agree with that. I also think Dusk Legion Zealot is also good for a black uncommon.
Well, that's a common.
Oh, is that a common?
Yep, that's why I was trying to suggest if you had any comments.
All right, well, that common is what you should crap.
That's called a softball.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch it.
I tee it up, but I can't make you hit it.
You did. Sorry, I apologize.
That is an excellent. Dusk Legion Zealot is an excellent card though.
Yeah, it cantrips, then just blocks and gains you life. It's also vampire too. So if you're in the vampire tribe, you become a 2/2 or something. But I played it in control decks, mid-range decks, just to bridge the gap between the early game and late game.
Yeah, pretty much everything.
Yeah. All right. So red, my favorite. It's not my favorite.
I think it is. This is a good card though, because you can use this card defensively and offensively.
I don't like red. Okay, Lightning Strike. I'm going Lightning Strike over a Braid because, one, all the artifacts you want to destroy are rares, and people don't really have that many rares. So Lightning Strike is just better right now. If you're playing Burn, you can go face. You can hit a creature, a Planeswalker. Lightning Strike is probably just the best red uncommon to craft, because it goes in multiple decks. It can go in your aggro deck, your control deck, and even your mid-range deck.
Yep. This was actually the first card that I crafted.
Yep.
Was 2 copies of Lightning Strike, just because it's whatever I'm playing, if I'm playing red, this is what I'm going to be using.
Yeah, solid.
Yep. Next card, going down the removal train, white, we have Cast Out. Cast Out obviously is extremely versatile. Not only does it cycle in a pinch for a white, but it's going to go in virtually every deck that is heavier on white. It gets anything, any non-land permanent, and it has flash. So especially important for cards that have haste. There's a lot of mono red going on, and cards like the Scarab God, if you are lucky enough to be able to open or craft one of those.
Yeah, or just random. Yeah, or if you run into anything like a random Planeswalker, random enchantment, random
artifacts. Yeah,
Anointed Procession, whatever. Cast Out just good, extremely good catch-all. They can cycle early. It's just great.
Yep. Okay.
Blue. Blue. So blue's kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess this is where we want to say that the 3 cards we named, I think there's a gap between the rest of these. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's Supreme Will. I think Supreme Will is sure, it's a blue card, but it's not the same power level as Ravenous Chupacabra, Lightning Strike, and Cast Out, but it's fine.
Yep, it's probably the best blue uncommon.
Yeah, it's that or Hieroglyphic Illumination. Honestly,
that's a common.
Dang. All right.
That's
Well,
that's a common. That's an excellent common though.
yeah, that one's a good comment then. All right.
I do think that hieroglyphic illumination is better than
Supreme Will.
Supreme Will.
Yeah, I think so too. If it's a common, you're right.
Yeah.
As far as uncommon, I think Supreme Will is probably the best uncommon.
Yep. For green, this one also is kind of lower on the totem pole, but it is still a very good card. Is Thrashing Bronzodon.
Yeah. And by the
This
way,
is one you. This is one. Go ahead.
also, so by the way, Supreme Will, like, obviously you can craft like Merfolk Mistbinder or whatever Lord, but we're talking about like a blue card that's good in generic decks if you want to switch decks. That's why we're saying Supreme Will. You can play it in Merfolk deck. You can play it in your control deck. You can play it in mid-range deck. Again, that's why we're saying Supreme Will.
If you craft Supreme Will and you get a quest, you're like win 2 games with a blue-red deck. You're like, I can play Supreme Will in this deck.
Yeah, correct.
I can play Supreme Will in this blue-green deck, even if I don't have like the other Merfolk cards.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, excellent point, Ali. For green, we have Thrashing Bronzodon. Even though it's a dinosaur, it's not necessarily it doesn't have to be dinosaur synergy. It's just a solid card, solid body, 3/4. That's good at attacking and blocking, and it can deal with aforementioned cast out and Ixalan's Binding and any other random artifacts.
Map. Yeah, whatever.
Treasure map, thematic compass. Yeah, it's just a solid card. You're not going to necessarily play in every green deck, but you're going to play it more than just about every other green uncommon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anything else before we move on to rare?
Not really, unless we talk about land.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah, sure. We got a land.
I guess the best uncommon land would be Field of Ruin. Even though I think you start with one, don't you?
You start with one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure you really want 2. I think 1's fine.
If you're flush with wild cards.
Yeah.
Uncommon wild cards.
Yeah, I would rather again craft one of those 5 we talked about earlier.
Totally agree.
Before going to Field of Ruin, because Field of Ruin can actually hurt you if you draw it too early. And one seems fine.
Yep. The first one you have is good. If you're playing a 2-color deck, the second one is also very good. But you're probably going to be able to do better and play a higher variety of archetypes with the other previous cards we named.
Yep.
Okay. So all right, I'll let you start with black for rares.
For rares, for black, I think Vraska's Contempt is just again versatile removal, like
easy peasy.
Yeah, like Ravaged Chupacabra, except this one has Planeswalkers, gains 2 life. This is the versatile black rare that you'd want. That would go multiple decks.
Absolutely. For red, this one is also easy for me. It's Glorybringer.
Yeah, it's like Sky and Miles.
Yeah. Yeah, like this the most versatile red rare by a significant margin. Mm-hmm. Obviously good in aggressive decks. It's a 4/4 haster, flying, kills a creature if you want it to. Excellent in control decks, and of course mid-range decks, which is really what it's made for. If you're playing red and you need a finisher, this is one that you could play in a variety of decks.
All right, yeah, I agree with that. Next one is blue. I actually believe this is gonna probably might get you off guard a little bit.
Okay.
I actually believe it's a River's Rebuke, because River's Rebuke is just great. It's great in the Merfolk deck where you can like just build up and just like, all right, I got a big enough board. You've been making tokens, or you're playing this black-green Explorer deck. I'm just gonna bounce everything and kill you.
Break parity.
Yeah, or even in like the mid-range decks, or even the control decks. Like if somehow the aggro decks get under you, or even the token decks get under you, or cat decks. There's a lot of cat decks now too.
Yeah, a lot of like the Embalm and Eternalize stuff.
Yeah, it's just a nice way to be like, okay, here's your cast outs back, here's everything back. Let me undo everything and attack you with my Nuzahal or whatever you have. Like, it's a nice way just like to reset.
So how many Rivers Rebuke would you play?
I think 2.
2? Okay.
Yeah, 2.
Okay. You start with 1. You start with one in your collection.
Yeah. Just because like there's no Fumigate. There's no Fumigate, and like it's like one of the this is like actually one of the better Wraths, because again tokens.
That's true.
The token strategies are so huge right now. There's a lot of tokens or vampires or a bunch of swarm stuff, and it's just nice to be like to reset it all.
And all of the cards we said previously, Ravaged Chupacabra, Lightning Strike, Cast Out, Vraska's Contempt, Glorybringer, those are all hit single creatures.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is one of the only sweepers, but it's not the only one. No. Which brings us to, in my opinion, the best white rare, which is Settle the Wreckage.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That one's good.
Settle the Wreckage is also like probably the most brutal card to get hit by. if you're not expecting it,
Yeah.
because you just
Yeah.
the game can just end.
Oh yeah, I've seen people like, all right, like, okay, you know what? I have a lot of guys. Let me crack my Chevette dunes. Swing out. Let's go. What you got?
Yep.
I'm like, all right, well, you can get all the lands you want.
Oh yeah. And obviously settle. The more of them that you have, the better it gets. Because the first one, uh, they have to once they know you have it, they have to play around it. So if you combine settle with like cast out, you can like pick off their creatures in combat and save yourself a lot of life and gain a lot of time. And then of course they're like, all right, fine, they don't have another settle. On attack with 4 creatures. Oh, then they have another one.
Yeah.
But I'm out of basics now.
Yeah.
So it's like every settle beyond that, it's just like
disgusting. Yeah.
yeah, you're getting nothing out of it.
Yeah. It's also a good way to beat other people's bombs. They have gods by chance or Carnage Tyrant or whatever crazy card. It's a nice way to stop all those.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So for green, I kind of have two. I'll go through.
Okay.
I'll go with Ripjaw Raptor as just a nice generic one you can put in like all your green X decks. And
Just an efficient green creature, kind of in the same lines of Thrashing Brontodon. Like nothing too crazy, but it does its job.
Yeah, I'm probably biased. I am biased, but I'm a huge lover of Our Promise, just because.
Yes, you're biased.
I am biased, but like I think it's so good. That card lets you play other colors. It's so much easier to be like base green red and like splash one color or even 2 colors if you want. And then it gives you like guys to like block with. I don't know. I'm biased.
You are biased.
But I'm just gonna say I absolutely love Our Promise. I think it's a fantastic card.
Oh, it's definitely good.
I mean I can't get enough of it.
So here's my thing. The reason I say Ripjaw Raptor
Yeah.
is you can play this in more decks than you can play Our Promise. Oh my gosh, Ollie. People, maybe not you, you're going to put Our Promise in every deck, but other people can play Ripjaw Raptor in more decks than Our Promise, because Our Promise is a very specific card. Like what if your deck doesn't want to go from 5 to 7 mana?
It even doesn't, like it makes 2/2/2s. Like let's say like you open like your 6 packs or 10 packs. And like you're playing this deck that's like green black whatever. And then like you get like three rares that are blue or whatever, and it's like, man, if I could really just play one more color, make it easier.
Just play blue then.
Just play Our Promise.
No, you don't have to play multiple anyway.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
It also lets you play the Arch of Araska, which everyone gets one.
Yes.
And that card is really good. Our Promise.
Yeah, you never need to craft Arch because you have one, and that's really all you need. But that card is fantastic. Yeah. I pretty much throw it in every deck that's not like a super aggressive deck.
Yeah, I'm probably I'm biased, but you
are biased.
I love Our Promise. It's okay.
Okay. So speaking of cards, you're talking about wanting to get lands and splash colors.
Yeah.
We have 2 artifacts. I'll let you pick one, and I'll do the other one.
All right. Sure. Treasure Map. I like Treasure Map a lot because this one goes in every deck. Like every deck, I think. It's just almost not in the beginning. Like basically, everyone's playing a glorified sealed. Okay, like no one has these tuned decks. So
it's like 12-pack sealed.
Yeah, 12-pack sealed or 20-pack sealed, whatever. Treasure Map is just good in all these decks because it filters your draws and then just takes over the game when it flips. By take over the game, I mean like you're just drawing 2 cards a turn, which is still crazy, and it ramps you. So I think Treasure Map is the best rare artifact.
I think Treasure Map is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's a little bit better than the card I'm getting ready to say, but if you like to play like really control-y decks, I think Thematic Compass is awesome too. This is a card I learned to love in the previous version of beta when it was just Ixalan and Rivals of Ixalan. It does excellent fixing, and since people are, when they have more diverse mana base, there's less Field of Ruins going around. So when you flip into a Maze of Ith that taps for mana also, it's actually really difficult to kill. And it's one of the better control cards if you can combine it with some other targeted removal. Obviously, it's also excellent with Settle the Wreckage. One of the best things you can have with Settle the Wreckage.
Yes. Yeah, you force them to commit more. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So really good card. Obviously, Thematic Compass is not you're not like playing in every single deck because you're really just playing it in more control-y decks. But if you know you like to play those, it's a worthwhile craft.
Yep. All right. Next up, Mythic Wildcards. We'll start with the
Okay.
obvious one. Just knock it out of the park. All right. The one,
Uh, all right.
the Sickle God. Scarab God.
Angrath, Pirate Minotaur. What?
Yeah, no. It's obviously definitely the Scarab God. Scarab God's insane in standard. It's going to be insane in your 60-pack deck.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just good. He's just a good card. It's very hard to deal with, and he drains. He's good in board stalls. He's good in non-board
Not board
stalls.
stalls.
It's just a good card.
He's good if you're attacking. He's good if you're defending.
He's just
He's
a
he's
fantastic
good if you're
card.
playing Magic. He's good if you're playing Hex.
It's, yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Hex is like overpowered Magic, and Scarab
Yeah.
God would be good there. Scarab God would be really good there.
I've been resisting crafting a Scarab God.
Me too.
Yeah, I know on stream.
I crafted balls.
You crafted Bolus, which I'm in for.
You know what he says when you play him? Bow down before your god Pharaoh.
It's so badass.
And then like when you +1 to exile cards in their hand, like a cloud of smoke pops up on their hand. It's like he says something about like toys or like those spells or like must be sad to lose your something. It's fantastic. He's just a total like he's that guy when you're playing a shooter that's just like bad mouthing you. Oh, you're trash. You're bad. You're awful. That's all Bolus does the whole entire time. You're just like, yeah, you suck. Yeah, give me that spell, and then when you ultimate him, he's great. He's great.
I really want to. I'm trying to like look up his
says?
voice lines on Arena. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not enough people know yet is the thing.
I should play him more. He says different things when you summon him. Like I want to play him like I just recently got him,
great.
but he says different things every time you summon him or use his ability. So
how did we get on Bolus? How did you manage to transition to Bolus? Bolus isn't even on our list.
Yeah, you're right. Bolus not on our list. Actually, I think he's kind of bad because people are swarming and everyone's a creature deck, and Bolus has a hard time dealing with a big board.
Yeah, so you need to cast River's Rebuke into Bolus.
Yeah, or as a comma into Bolus. But yeah. But anyways, neither of those are on there. So go ahead. So far we have Scarab God.
Scarab God is number one with a bullet. Yeah. But in the event that you want to resist playing the Scarab God, there are some other options. My next card, and we don't have one for every color for this because for mythic rares, like one, you're getting less of these, and two, not every mythic rare has something that's going to go in every deck.
Yeah.
So I want to say I think it's Scarab God, and then there's a gap.
Yeah.
And then there's these next two cards that we're going to say, and then there's another gap.
Sure.
Okay, so the next card for me, and I'm actually going to move our list. I'll let you say the one I know you want to say that's at the very bottom.
Yes, I think this card actually. Do you think this card is with the other cards?
Yeah, I'll let you say this one out. Say the one you want to say after I say one. It's fine. No. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and say it now. Go ahead and say it now.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay, so if there's one card you want to use for all your decks, like if there's one mythic card you want to craft, you're like, okay, I want to use it in my aggro deck, my token deck, my control deck, mid-range ramp, whatever. That one card is absolutely the Immortal Sun. The Immortal Sun is it's great in tokens. It pumps all your guys up. It's great in control because it draws you extra cards. That is the one card that is actually a wild card. Because you can
literally use it
exactly, every deck. So that card's actually, I think, really good as well.
Yep. And the card that I think is in the same class as the Immortal Sun, I think it is better, but obviously you can't play it in every deck, is Vraska Relic Seeker.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the card that Vraska would prey on is the Immortal Sun, but it can't.
It can't.
I've tried that. Don't do it. Like you form this plan in your head, like I'm going to get the Immortal Sun and do all this other stuff, and then you play Vraska and you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I kill Vraska, and then you concede and disconnect from Arena out of embarrassment. But Vraska Relic Seeker, even though it's a 2-color card, but just like Scarab God, it's not quite on the same power level as Scarab God, but it is incredibly powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely warps the board around its existence. If you're playing black and green, you probably are playing some of these other cards that we talked about: Dusk Legion Zealot, Ravenous Chupacabra, Roscoe's Contempt, other great cards, Golden Demise, Moment of Craving, obviously all in black. But Vraska is excellent with removal because it gives you threats and it ends the game very quickly on its own, and it forces your opponent to have removal immediately.
Yeah. Also good in the black-green Explore deck because you usually have a bunch of blockers, so you just player, protector, put your opponent to 1, they're dead.
And then, yeah. That's it. In the meantime, you're putting 2 menace creatures into play.
Yeah.
Vraska is awesome. Even if you're just playing like a green, like let's say that you're playing like a green-blue deck, it's very easy to like splash like one, or you're playing a black deck. It's really easy to splash like 1 forest or 1 swamp with Evolving Wilds.
Or Compass,
so you can
whatever.
Have, Vraska. Or Compass, or even like Treasure Map.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Treasure Map also good with Vraska. Okay, let's run through these other ones really quick because I think these are on a smaller
scale. I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Is this good?
The next one. Okay, the next one I'm going to say. Yeah, the next one I'm going to say is I think better than all the rest.
Yeah.
And that's Rekindling Phoenix.
Okay.
Which is, I think, the best red card if you want to play red to use your wild card on. Hazard's also obviously really powerful, but you're not playing Hazard in a control deck. You can play Rekindling Phoenix in an aggressive deck, and you can play it in a mid-range or control deck. Yeah, still an excellent threat.
Yeah.
And then in order after that, if you really want to play, a single specific color, Carnage Tyrant is a pretty good green use of a wild card. Getting to the Trial is pretty good use of white, and Liliana Death's Majesty is pretty good use of black. However, I will say, if you want to do any of those, I think Gideon is the worst of them because it's the most narrow. And if you want to use Carnage Tyrant or Liliana, you should probably just be crafting a Vraska or a Scarab God.
Yeah, I don't think you should craft those, honestly. And then I say that, but I can only say that you craft for whatever you want ultimately. But if you're trying to
But if you want to use these, if you want to use things in multiple decks,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But still, Rekindling Phoenix, Carnage Tyrant, and Liliana can at least go if you're playing a red deck, a black deck, or a green deck. You can just throw those cards in, and they're never bad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I made cards that weren't on this list because I want to have fun, and So Bolas. I have Zakama. I have a lot of I do have the Immortal Sun though, but I opened that. But still, that card's really good.
Yeah. I opened a Rekindling Phoenix. I have that, and then I crafted a Vraska, just because I love Vraska, but I also think it's just very good.
Yep. No.
Okay, Ollie, any other thoughts on the wild card situation for Magic Arena? We will obviously come back and talk about Magic Arena more in the future, but for today,
anything else on what to craft?
Anything else on anything regarding the wild cards?
I mean, I just wish you got more. That's about it.
Me too. And this is a reminder. Again, I'm going to give you a weekly reminder until it changes. Ollie did not listen to this last week. So if you're out there, please don't open your vault yet. If you wait until the next update, if you're able to wait, they're going to be changing the vault, and you'll be able to get a mythic wild card out of the vault, which you cannot get yet. Right, Ollie? Since you opened it, you didn't get one?
I did. Yeah, I opened it. Here's my thought process. Justin was like, yeah, wait 3 weeks. And I was like, you know what? And this whole account's getting wiped. I'm streaming. People are watching. Let me just open this freaking vault. And that's what I did. And to be fair, who knows? In 3 weeks, yeah, sure. The vault might have a mythic card. But how much longer are we going to be in beta? Because after beta, everything, you know what's happening? Everything's getting wiped.
Yes, that's true.
So I just want to have fun, and it's whatever.
Okay. That's fair. All
right.
I'm going to, by the time that the update happens with Dominaria, I'm going to be able to open the vault 2 times, so that stream is going to be twice as sweet as when you opened yours.
All right, that's true.
2.5 times because I'm going to get mythic wild cards.
I'll tune in for that.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so moving on to our next topic. Ollie, do you want to hit us with any sweet theme music interlude?
Yeah. I don't want to wait for my love to get older. I want to do. Are the words of the song. And we're back with
All
the
right,
Wildcard
excellent,
dogs.
excellent. That was the most recent rendition of the Dawson's Creek song, with the wrong words.
It's perfect.
Okay,
What else could you
so
ask for?
obviously we're going to be talking today about Dominaria's Return to Dominaria Part 4, or Magic Stories Return to Dominaria Part 4.
Hmm.
Uh, First thoughts, I wish these stories had names. I liked when the old ones had names.
Yeah. This is like chapters, which is, I guess, it's different. It's different.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, part
But I
four.
really,
Part four doesn't like. There's no like. It's hard to remember which story is which because
it
like it's like
is. It
numbers is
is.
not a lot.
Is that part 3 or part 5?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, if it was like, this was Tanya's sisters or whatever. I don't know, something, or Sarah's angels or whatever, or the app, whatever.
Yeah. And I think I loved the name of the magic stories in Amonkhet block specifically, like Amonkhet and Hour Devastation. Like those are some of my favorite. Some of the ones from Ixalan block are really sweet. Like Jace Alone is a great name of a story.
Yeah, yeah. It's also,
Um,
yeah. When you say that, even I know. I'm like, oh yeah, I know this story's about.
yeah, you remember that one, The
Yeah,
Flood.
yeah,
Fantastic name.
yeah.
So it's like I don't know. I think giving these stories just part names. Honestly, it's like it makes the stories have less flavor.
Less flavor,
That makes sense.
and it's confusing because part four is actually in the past. It's before part three, and it's like,
Somewhat, yeah.
yeah, it's like, what? Like, by giving parts, usually like you think it's like, oh, these
It's
are
chronological.
Yeah, exactly, but they're not, because this one talks about before Jorah gets to the camp, because it talks about Tiana meeting the vampire Avred or Arvad.
Arvad.
Arvad. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it happens before. So this story happens. The beginning of this story, when we see Tiana's creation, happens before the events of uh, even the first, like part 1, when the Weatherlight's getting risen out of I think we now know as the of a Garden Sea. And then definitely before the things of part 3, but then during part 3, while Jorah's going to recruit people for the crew of the Weatherlight, this is when this story happens. The bulk of the story, anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because Jory comes back at the end of part 3, and she sees Tiana. Tiana's like, she's like, that's a vampire.
Yes.
It's clearly dressed as a knight. And she's like, yeah, this is Arvad. He's on our team. It's like, okay. Then it ends there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to come back to the very beginning of this story, and I want to kind of start like a fourth, or like 2/4 through,
Sure.
or like the 25% mark.
Yep.
So let's start with when Tiana is starting to work on the Weatherlight. So Tiana is obviously, happens after Tiana meets Jorah. Starts to work on the Weatherlight. Is there as the guardian of the ship, and we know from the previous story is trying to ensure that the Power Stone that is taken care of, whether either it works and the Weatherlight can be operational, or it doesn't and then it's returned safely to the Church of Serra.
Yes.
And then during this time is when Tiana, I guess at that point, meets Arvad and is just as wary of him as Jorah was initially.
Yeah. They see him in the distance coming up as she's scouting. They don't know who it is, but then she realizes that it's not just a human, because their eyes are red and they can see her in the dark. Like they obviously have some magic abilities, because angels can see better in the dark, and Tiana notices that this person that's in the dark can see her as well.
Yes. So they kind of meet, and then Tiana quickly is like, identifies him as a vampire. Is like, why shouldn't I kill you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, no need to kill me. I mean no harm to anyone. And she's like, well, why should I trust you? You're obviously a vampire. I was captured and turned into a vampire. This is not something that I did on purpose. I put my trust in my faith, and I try not to feed, even though sometimes I give in. But I only feed on the cabal, which is something that Arvad specifically states.
Yeah, and she can tell he's telling the truth. She's an angel, and she's like, okay, he's telling the truth.
Yeah,
he's even ashamed of feeding on the cabal though, because he says like,
yes.
I only feed when during battle, and I can't like control like I have like instinct kicking in, and I'm fighting, and like it just kicks in. Like there's blood going everywhere, like it just kicks in.
Yeah, literally blood being spilled. So, my spider sense is going off.
Yeah, exactly.
Vampire sense is going off. Yeah. And then she takes him back to the Weatherlight, and yes, where the Power Stone that is powering the Weatherlight starts having some interesting effects on Arvad.
Yeah, Arvad is actually heading towards the camp because he actually feels the Power Stone.
Yes, which we know is full of white mana from Serra's realm.
And he feels like it's actually like helping him. His urge to feed isn't as high when he's walking towards it as working towards it.
Yep.
And when he gets there, she tells him who he is, and then they want to check his like eyes, his teeth, and his skin. Towards the end of it, and it's like, okay, yeah, your teeth are actually receding.
Mm-hmm. Your eyes are less red.
Yep, and your skin has a more color to it.
It's less. Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, they decide that he can stay here, but Tanya is responsible for him, and he sleeps in a completely different camp, not with them.
Yep.
Because I was like, do I leave or stay? They said, okay, you can stay. You sleep in a completely different camp, though. Tanya watches over you. He's like, okay, yeah, that's completely reasonable. I understand. I can do that.
And then Tiana the next day is like, why don't we see if this Power Stone like just heals you of your vampirism? So they try that, it doesn't work. Yeah. But he's noticed that he doesn't have the urges, and his vampiric urges are suppressed as he continues to be around the Power Stone.
Yep.
And that's kind of where the story ends. I don't think there's not really a lot of. Am I missing anything at the end?
Yeah, well, you're missing. Tanya talks about how she likes to talk to him because he doesn't sleep, and then they get attacked. The king gets attacked by a phoenix.
That's right.
Tanya's like
Tiana.
Sorry, Tiana is up doing her scouts. She's like this. She's like this ball of fire. She knows it's a phoenix. She goes back down. She's like, "Hey, there's something coming." Like, what is it? Like? They're like, "It's bad. It's a phoenix." And this phoenix is like, obviously on fire, and it's destroying everything.
It is on fire. And
Tiana is having a hard time defeating it. It actually seems like the phoenix is beating Tiana. Tiana seems like she's going to lose to the phoenix. And then all of a sudden, the phoenix starts taking arrows. Where they hit it, they hurt it, and the phoenix is able to like incinerate the arrow and kick it out, whatever. But it's still taking damage. And the person firing the arrows is just like Arvad, just plucking away arrows at it. And together they're able to distract the phoenix long enough, and Tiana is able to pull up her sword while the phoenix is distracted, and prays to Serra, asking her for, "Hey, Serra, please let me your power so I can defeat this darkness or defend or protect whatever." And Serra, for what we understand, Serra answers, gives her enough juice, power, whatever it is, to slay the phoenix and send it into the ocean and kill it. And from there, she lands back down, and she's like, "Yo, Arvad, thank you. You helped me. You saved my life." And the people say, "Yeah, Arvad he's actually burnt up a little bit because she's like typing his clothes, trying to put him out." Yeah. And like, Arvad our camps were on fire. He actually came up and like got us out, and
like, you saved us.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay.
We think he saved you too. He's like, he's a little on fire, but you know, so there's definitely so, and kind of the end of this story is when we see the end of part three, when Joy returns, and then they have their interaction about Arvad.
Yep. Yep.
So I want to go back to also, but I guess before I go on, this is the first time I think we've seen a phoenix be presented as like malevolent. Does that seem right?
As like just a phoenix.
No, it's just something that's like trying to
Attack
do.
the.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. Which I thought that was interesting. I thought that was interesting.
Well, it was basically. It seems like people are attracted to the Power Stone, or things are attracted to the Power Stone. That's obviously something. Like
Yes.
maybe the Phoenix was attracted to the Power Stone because it was literally going for the freaking Weatherlight.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Well, as far as we know, it was.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going for the Weatherlight.
So, okay. So you said, and I'm just double checking this in the story. Obviously, Tiana prayed to
Something or Sarah.
Serra,
Yeah.
or the Church of Serra, basically some divine thing to give her the power to strike down the Phoenix.
Correct.
So, with that in mind, let's go back to the very beginning of the story, which I think is by far the most interesting part of this story,
Sure.
and where I want to spend the most time.
Okay.
So the very beginning of the story, we see a little bit of we see a scene where an angel is being created or born, which is Tiana.
Yep.
And she kind of comes into being. There's this glow about her. She feels very warm, and immediately she knows, she's like, what is my purpose? And Lyra Dawnbringer, who is essentially like the head battle angel, says, you are a guardian. She's like, oh, are you sure? Not a battle angel? She's like, yeah, you're a guardian angel. She's like, okay, well, I know people pray for guardian angels. So what's going on? She's like, you have a very important purpose. Your purpose is to be the guardian angel of a complicated irrigation system.
Yeah.
So she's like, that seems weird. And then it's like, all right, well, let's go. And she's like, well, we're actually going to escort you to where the irrigation system is.
Yep.
And she's like, well, I'm sure it's important, so that's fine. She's like, this is a little weird. Why am I being escorted?
Well, first of all, it's a weird mission. It's a weird thing to guard. Second of all,
yep,
it's like, why are they escorting me? Yeah, go ahead.
Why are they escorting me? And they're like, and she's like, oh, is it because I took so long? They're like, yeah, that's it. It's because you took so long.
Yeah.
So already seems very fishy, like something weird is going on. So of course, when she gets to the irrigation system, it's as she thought. She's like, well, because she's thinking on the way there. She's like, well, it's probably important, so it probably gets attacked a lot, so I need to defend it. So sure enough, when they get there, and Lyra's there with her, it's already destroyed. Like the town where the irrigation system is destroyed. There's a reason I haven't said the irrigation system name yet, because I'm going to get to that. Yeah. And that's kind of where that part of the story ends. There's obviously some details that I want to go back on. But immediately after that is when she's assigned to the Weatherlight. Now, a few things. One, we know that that she prayed to someone to give her the power to strike down the Phoenix.
Yes.
But we also know that angels are born from other angels, and like they're being kind of prayed into existence. They're not created from like a divine entity on Dominaria necessarily, because Sarah's realm is gone. Sarah's gone, and has been for a long time. It's in the Power Stone.
Yeah. It's been collapsed into the Power Stone.
Yes. So there's this Church of Serra, which you have clerics and angels essentially are going on and doing the work that they believe that Sarah wants them to do.
Yeah.
The first thing that she is assigned to is this irrigation system. And the name of the irrigation system is called the Great Machine. Now,
Yeah.
when you hear, if I just told you, hey, there's a thing on Dominaria that's called the Great Machine, what would you associate that with?
Absolutely. Phyrexians.
Phyrexians, right?
Yeah. Anything the Great Machine or the Great Work or the Great Perfection
The,
or
I mean, they're
the Great Plan or the Grand
the
Plan.
Machine Orthodoxy
Yeah.
is one of their faiths.
Yeah. Or Father. Anything with machine, like Father Machines.
Father of Machines. Yeah. I don't think that is a coincidence.
No, probably not. Well, we'll go back real quick. There's also one part too where Tanya is
Tiana.
Gosh, sorry. Tiana is talking and basically she's like, I wonder why it took so long. I wonder why it took so long to happen. And then Afra, or one of the person like escorting, is like
one of the clerics. Yeah.
He's like, oh, it just takes a long time. I'm sure it's happened before. And then it says, as Afra glanced at other clerics,
like yeah,
am
right?
I saying this right? It's good. What am I doing? Yeah, obviously, yeah. There's something going on. But anyways, so yes, the Great Machine definitely sounds like something unangelic, like more so Phyrexian.
Very unangelic. Yeah. And when they get there, the city that had the Great Machine is destroyed, and they're like, Rats. It was those Cabal.
Yeah.
Those dirty Cabal. They're just getting everything.
Yeah.
But we don't see in the story where they say anything specifically about the Cabal, only that they were there and they were the ones responsible.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Because it just says, as they approached the plateau, a haze of smoke hung over it. At first, Tiana thought this was normal. The other human towns they'd flown over hadn't had much smoke. Maybe this was a byproduct of the Great Machine. Again, Great Machine's in all caps. Not all caps, but capitalized.
Yeah.
But the sudden sense of agitation from the other angels warned her something wasn't right. They flew closer, and that's when she saw the town was in ruins. It had been attacked and burned, perhaps only a few days ago. The buildings were smoking ruins of tumbled stone and wood, and the dead lay in the streets. They circled around the plateau, and Tiana saw what was left of the Great Machine. The wood platforms were charred and the glass broken, heavy chains shattered, metal tubes and gears twisted and bent. It had been huge, and they had climbed the whole side of the plateau up to from the reservoirs and the canals that brought water down from the distant river. Tiana was too stunned to feel anything at first, except for a heavy lump in her throat, like something was trying to choke her from the inside. They landed in what was left of the town's plaza to help the survivors, and Lyra said grimly, "This is the work of the Cabal." So the forces of darkness had come to the place Tiana had been born to watch over, but she had been too late to fight them. Okay, so Tiana says this is the work of the Cabal. Is it so?
No.
We don't know that.
We don't, but I don't believe it is.
Even if it is, let's pretend that it is.
Even if it is, I would believe they somehow manipulated it. Because, like, she's late. She's late being born.
Yes, late. Never happened before. Yes. Why is she late?
Yeah, she's late. She's late being born. And then, by the time she gets to guarding this weird thing that angels aren't supposed to be guarding, it's conveniently destroyed. And she was escorted there too,
escorted there, so there's witnesses.
Yes.
So they could be like, "Oh shucks,
yeah.
Oh oh my gosh, this is just so crazy. This thing is just destroyed."
Yeah.
And well, it's the Cabal. That's who we need to be fighting.
Yeah.
Is the Cabal.
Yeah, and now also it gave her no purpose.
It gave her, because she knew, and it seemed to all of the clerics and all of the lower angels, oh, this is Tiana's purpose.
Yeah.
Is to be the guardian angel of this complicated irrigation system.
Mm-hmm.
But then when that didn't happen, it's like, okay, well, you have to have a purpose now. Your new purpose is to be the guardian, or not necessarily the guardian yet, but we want you to go check on the power stone that's powering the ship, the Weatherlight, which we know Joyra is trying to revive.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that there was an angel that had a different purpose, and then conveniently there just happened to be a slot open for an angel to go check on the thing where the church that sent you their whole realm was collapsed into this item
Yeah.
centuries ago. And let me tell you, I bet they're still pissed about it because Radiant certainly was not too happy
Yeah.
when it happened. Does that just seem like awfully convenient?
Obviously, yeah, yeah. There's something fishy going on. Also, there's just one thing too towards the end of it where Tiana sees.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Realizes she sees something, recognizes something, and she's like thinking about it, but she becomes distracted. It's basically towards the end. Okay, where Tiana's attention was caught by one of the portraits on the high on the wall. The
Yes.
knowledge she had been born with told her that the man with the brown hair and goatee, dressed as a banished man of arms, was a depiction of the martyr Gerard. Her brows drew together, and she studied the spear he held. The downward pointing blade was a strange shape, almost flat
Yep.
on one side, with a
Yep.
jagged curve on the other, and a cross brace at the angle. That somehow suggested flight. It seemed familiar to her, but she couldn't quite place how. How his spear? Where's it from? She asked, but then like she gets distracted and she forgets.
Yep. So what do you make of that?
I don't know. What is a spear?
What do you mean?
What is she recognizing? She's recognizing the down pointing blade with a strange shape and almost a flat on one side.
It's something.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I mean, but the fact that it's notable.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This whole passage, this beginning story, until Tiana goes to the Weatherlight, is incredibly interesting, and I think we're going to be going back to this passage to look for clues for the next several months, because something is going on with the Church of Serra that is not right. It's not right.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I think that they want to have ownership of the Power Stone,
Yeah.
which is in Joyra's care currently. I don't know. I feel this is going to be. I'm gonna toss a theory out from left field. Okay.
Yep. I'm ready.
Do you think that the Church of Serra believes that their purpose solely is to fight the Phyrexians? Like kind of a Batman and Joker type situation.
I don't know. At one point, they hated Urza. I don't know. At one point, they really hated Urza for what he did, because he brought the Phyrexians into their realm.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, okay, once we eventually see Phyrexians again, I think that the Church of Serra is going to be closely tied. I do not believe that they have anything to do with Phyrexians at all.
Okay.
But I think they're gonna show back up and be, I guess, more make themselves more well known when we get there. I don't know. Either way, I think this is definitely a part of the story that I want to come back to and find out what is going on as we continue down this Magic story.
Yeah, there's a lot of like just little hints and stuff just here and there.
Yep. I went back and read the first part of the story like 3 times just to kind of look for clues. But something's definitely going on. What if the Cabal are also trying to eradicate the Phyrexians? What if the Great Machine is something of a Phyrexian design that was left over, and Belzenlock wants, by his desire to be the one ruling entity on Dominaria, what if he is trying to specifically eliminate any remnants of
The Phyrexians.
Phyrexians?
So you
Wouldn't that be a twist?
That's
Where
so
the
weird.
Cabal is the bad guy, but they're not the big bad.
That'd be weird. I mean, like, I understand. I understand Belzenlock's just trying to change the history of Dominaria, make everything revolve around him, and how he was like the big everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can't. But see, here's the thing: you can't do that if you're trying to take responsibility for all of the terrible things that happened in this plane's past, you can't do that if there's still people around that remember otherwise.
Yeah, like Friction. Like remember Frictions or stuff. Yeah, yeah. So maybe trying to eradicate all history of the Frictions for whatever reason.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just a theory.
Yeah, it's weird.
Just a theory.
Definitely interesting.
Yep. Okay.
These stories, like you gotta pay super attention to them because like there's so many little hints here and there.
Yeah, I think there's little breadcrumbs everywhere for sure, and I definitely think you and I talked about this story before we started recording, and we were thinking like, oh, this was just okay story, like we weren't super into it.
Yeah.
But I think the beginning of this story is going to have a lot. There's going to be a lot going on.
A lot of foreshadowing.
Maybe behind the scenes a lot of foreshadowing that we can't quite see yet.
Sure, sure.
Okay, Ollie, anything else on the beautifully named Return to Dominaria Part 4 Magic story?
No, that's about it for me.
Okay. All right, so Ollie, before I send it to you to do theme music, I want to throw up a spoiler warning for our next segment. We're going to be talking about the movie Ready Player One, and if you have not seen this movie, this is your time to not listen or look away or turn your headphones off or basically stop listening and then come back later.
Stop the YouTube video or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
If you're watching live, nothing you can do. You have to keep watching. But for everyone else, you can pause it.
It's not true.
Absolutely is true. Okay. Ollie, I'm going to send it to you if you want to do any beautiful interlude music.
I got it.
How about something new for this one?
All right. Do 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 do.
Really, this is what you're doing.
Do 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 do.
Thank you, and we're back on Jeopardy. I'm Alex Trebek. Okay, so Ready Player One. This is a movie that was adapted from a book. It's a book that I've read, so I'm going to do my best to not do the thing where I'm like, well, in the book it was like this, and in the movie it was like this, and I don't like it because books are always better. That being said, I'm going to try to not do that, but I might do it a little bit on accident.
Okay, well, I didn't read the book, so...
Okay, excellent. So you're pure. You're pure of any foregone information.
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you start on your opinions?
I don't know. I thought the movie was like... I thought it was okay. It was just... I loved the I loved the digital space. I liked the MMO type feel come to real life. Like it reminded me of when I was younger and played like Warcraft or Final Fantasy 11 online. It was very reminiscent of that, where you go around, you collect gold, and if you die, you basically like de-level or leave your stuff behind. Like it reminded me a lot of that, and I liked seeing a lot of the little nods at things or seeing like what weapons they had, or what they could do. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Be able to like summon, freaking Godzilla was kind of cool, or
yeah,
or mech up in a King Kong or the Iron Giant. That was all kind of cool. That was all very nostalgic. I like that part. But as far as like the actual story and whatnot, it was very. It's kind of funny too because the way the main character falls in love with Artemis. Is that her name?
Artemis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like how people would fall in love like online or without meeting each other. It's like, oh, you're the best ever, because you're literally seeing what they want to show you. You're seeing the best parts of somebody without even knowing who they are.
To her character's credit, she says that exactly.
Yeah, she does, and it's all very true. And the fact that it just like magically worked out, and it's like, come on, now. That really happens. But anyways, it reminded me of a lot of MMOs And when I used to play them a lot, like back when I was like a teenager, early 20s.
Okay. Okay. So I think this movie looked awesome. Like visually,
Yeah.
it looked great. When they were in the Oasis, looked awesome. When they're out of the Oasis, I think it was a really compelling world that they built, especially the stacks, which is something that was very difficult, no doubt. Um, the thing that surprised me the most, and we don't talk about like the money side of movies on Think Twice too much, but this movie cost 175 million dollars, which
Jesus.
that's actually not that much
Really?
necessarily. Well, think about this. So this movie is heavy CGI,
Yeah.
obviously. But not only that, think about all of the licenses that they had to buy to put these references and these characters into this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Like none of this, like almost none of the things that they put are like public domain.
Yeah.
There's like dozens of like video game characters, and well, like honestly, there's probably like hundreds of like unique characters between like video games, TV, movies, books, anything, internet things, just like literally every single one of those things, someone has the rights to, and yet they were all in this movie. So that fact alone, the fact that this only made $175, that cost $175 million to make, was like, I don't know. I feel like that's crazy, and maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm overselling it, but I was impressed by the amount of stuff they were able to fit in, even if it was just for like 1 second. The amount of references and characters and stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's a really big part of this movie. Both the film and the novelization heavy on nostalgia. This is kind of one of this. This is the probably the number one central thing that's really in your face. My favorite reference was it wasn't even a reference because it ended up being a actual important part of the movie, was the part where they went into the Shining
Yes.
movie.
Yes. Yep.
That was a lot of fun because that's a movie that I really enjoy. Super, it's like the world that they made around that was like super accurate.
I never watched The Shining.
Well, the house that The Shining takes place in was exactly like, they look exactly like that,
Gotcha.
and all the little things that they did, even like the little characters, like the little girls, the woman in the shower, um, were the same thing. So it was literally just like yanked out of that movie, and these characters were put into it, which is pretty awesome.
I also learned a lot too. Like I learned that like when they said, "Oh, the author of The Shining hated the movie rendition of his book."
Yeah,
Is that true? I guess it's true.
I don't know. I didn't fact check the movie.
Okay.
But yeah, but there's still a lot of little stuff like that. Uh, I thought that the adult characters were interesting. I think that the kid characters were not quite as interesting. I mean, they're pretty flat, but I don't know. You could argue that, this is obviously okay. So I guess this brings me to my first complaint. Who is this movie made for?
Oh no, because I brought Lily with me,
Yeah,
which is basically my daughter, and
and Lily's how old?
she's 7. Lily's 7.
Yeah.
She after we left, I was like, "What do you think?" She was like, "It was okay. Can we get ice cream?" I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I was like, "Lily, it's okay if you don't like it. Like, how do you feel about it?" She's like, "I don't like it." I was like, "Okay." It was very like she wasn't she didn't connect she didn't connect to anybody.
Yeah.
Because like it's CGI, I think, and I think it's also
Sure.
mystery. It's like a mystery where like a lot of talking, and it's hard for her to like follow all
Follow
that.
everything.
Yeah,
It's also very distracting.
yeah, it is very
Even though
distracting.
even though the plot was simple, if you're young,
Yeah, but you probably don't know what's going on. It's like
yeah,
it's so much
there's
going
just so
on.
much. There's just like,
Yeah, yeah. Like there's keys. There's this old man. There's this. It's hard. Yeah, it's like it's almost like a mystery, and like you had to follow what everyone's saying and like And then, like the differentiation between reality and the game, I imagine it's hard for a
hard for her to
young person
follow.
to follow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went with my girlfriend's sons, Parker and Levi. Levi's 11, Parker's 13. Um, they liked it, I think, probably more than Lily, but I think it was some of the same. It's just like, yeah, it looked cool, but like I don't know, what am I like remembering from this movie?
Yeah, I don't either. Like even me personally, what am I taking away? I don't know what I'm taking away from it.
Okay, so we're early 30s.
Yeah.
We took some, you know, adolescent kids. I don't feel like this movie was made for us, like for our age group, because
No, yeah,
if it
maybe not.
if it's made for people that are around 30, even though we're going to get the vast majority of the references, like there's like very little substance. Like very few of the things they were talking about matters. The line where Artemis's character is talking about like the dangers of basically giving up information to someone that you don't know in real life, that was like one of the only things that I think they touched on when they had the opportunity to do a lot more, but they just didn't. Like there's just a lack of substance in the film, uh, and that's the question. It's like, okay, well, there doesn't need to be a lot of substance because this is aimed at a younger audience, but is it? Because if it's not aimed at like like the preteen audience,
Yeah.
they sure push the boundaries, honestly, of a PG-13 movie, in my opinion,
Yeah, they
just
did.
from the language perspective. They said the word shit like 10 times in the movie. They said the F word once. There's a part in the
Well,
movie
someone
where
told me the limit for PG-13 is you can say shit 5 times and the F word 1 time.
they definitely said it I think they said it more than 5 times.
Okay, well then I don't know. Someone
And
told
if
me.
and that's I mean that sounds right, but like I think they hit like at the mark exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Like they made sure that they used all of them up.
Okay, well that was. I mean, that's what I heard. That's what I heard when watching a PG-13. Look for the
Yeah.
F bomb because they can only use it once, and
Yep.
it's interesting to find out where they use it.
Yes, and that I know that is true. They can only use the F word one time. Um, but they said shit a lot.
Sure.
And like there's a scene in this movie when they're in like the nightclub where where Artemis's character says to
Can you feel it?
Parsival is like, you have the super feely stuff on. And then she literally feels all the way up his legs into his crotch, and they show that like light up like in the real world, and it's like, what am I watching right now? Like this is not something I want to take an 11-year-old to.
Justin, can you feel it?
Oh, I could feel it. It was frustration, is what I could feel. I was like, what is I was like, what is going on right now? This is absolutely like that's why I think like those things, like who is this movie for? Like I legitimately don't know.
I think it's funny though that we get so upset about that because like it's actually not that big a deal. In Europeans, like it's like what? It's nothing. But anyways, um, like because we can see violence and not care. With something like that, I'm just like, oh my god, why are you doing that? I don't think it's that big a deal, dude. I personally think that it's that big a deal. I was more concerned about the Shining because Lily was getting scared, and I was like, it's okay.
Sure. But I guess that goes to my point. Like, I feel like this movie was made to like please every single person like half the time,
Yeah, and it pleased nobody.
and no
All the
one like
time.
it exactly.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing is, like, I know from the source material that they could have gone in any specific direction they wanted to. They could have made this movie have more of a social commentary than it did, because in the novelization they do.
Right.
Like they obviously they talk about a lot more of the dangers of virtual reality versus reality and losing touch with that. Um, the importance of making sure that monopolization doesn't happen with IOI, obviously, which is a big part of this movie, but like they don't go into that. They go into like essentially the indentured servitude of the loyalty centers significantly more
Yeah.
in the novel. Um, the stakes are a lot higher. Like the characters Daito and Sho.
Yeah, yeah.
They actually in the novel they hunt down those characters and actually kill Daito like in real life,
Oh snap! Really?
which is actually the thing that gets all of the rest of the characters together because of course in the movie they all conveniently live in Columbus where IOI is located, which I think is like the laziest storytelling. That was like my least favorite part of the movie. It's like, dude, all the five best people, Gunters in the Oasis, all happen to live in Columbus, which happens to be the city where the gigantic corporation is located. That is awfully convenient.
Yeah. I see more like that in the books.
No, they're all over the United States.
Yeah.
IOI's in Columbus, but like Wade is in like Oklahoma City. Um, Another character is in like Seattle. Other characters are in like Japan. They're like literally everywhere.
That makes sense.
Um, so that was a little bit frustrating. There was like no like the only commentary they had on like technology over the end is like once once Wade won, got the Easter egg. It's like I'm shutting down the Oasis on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like that's it. That's all you got. And you're gonna cuddle with your girlfriend in your loft because you just split all the money about about you with your five friends.
They're rich now.
Yeah. The thing is, he literally came from poverty. He lived in like the stacks, which is like this gigantic trailer park,
Yeah.
and he does nothing about it. He's just like, that's whatever. They're fine. But I'm gonna shut down the Oasis on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can spend time with your family, even though you're still completely living in poverty.
Yeah, yeah. I'd actually be pissed if I was like, if I lived in the stacks and you shut down Tuesday and Thursdays. Like, dude, I got nothing to do.
That's not even what I'm saying. I'm just like, but that's like his solution. Like to all of these people, like there were like tons of people murdered, and he just is like, I'm like the richest person in the world now, and I'm literally going to give back nothing. Instead, I'm going to cuddle in my loft with my new girlfriend, who uh, who I met online and fell in love with in 3 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I see what you're saying. I also did not get much. Yeah, so I don't know who this movie was for. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't for us.
I don't know either.
Because it's not for kids either.
No, I don't think it is. That being said, I didn't dislike the movie. Like I didn't feel like my
No,
time
I
was
neither.
wasted. Like there were parts I liked. It looked really awesome. I think it's a fun movie.
I agree.
Uh, I just think it faltered in multiple different points when it had the opportunity. I guess that's the thing I'm frustrated about. It had the opportunity to address a lot of these things, and then it just focused on, no, I'm just gonna make this movie look cool instead.
It definitely looked cool.
It did look cool. It did look cool. Uh, I don't know. Ollie, any other thoughts on Ready Player One? Who do you recommend this movie for?
Honestly, I don't know.
Take a sip of my water
Thank you.
while you.
I mean, I guess if you read the book, you really want to watch it, go watch it. I can imagine.
That's all you got.
Yeah, I mean, like,
If you want to, people that want to go watch it, that's what you should go watch it.
I mean, this is quite poo, but it's like borderline. It's like borderline poo and like. I don't know. I'll say I liked it, but I'll 1,000% never share it. Like, it's not something like I would want to stand behind. Like, this movie's great. It's like, I can't recommend it really because I'll never watch this again. Like, it was just like,
Yeah.
it wasn't very fun. It wasn't like super funny. It wasn't like, oh my god, your mind's being blown. It wasn't like, it was very like you said, it had no sustenance. It was like eating.
No substance. No
Yeah,
substance.
it was like eating, or sustenance. Like eating food, like you're just eating like those pop chips filled with air. No, okay, it's like eating,
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
okay,
about.
that's what it's like. It's like eating like 5 of those, and like you're eating, like you're watching this movie, but you're like, I'm not full, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, there's no like real.
You're just eating for the sake of eating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just
So this movie is, I feel like, is watching for the sake of watching.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
You're not gonna have to exert any brain power.
No,
Don't have to worry about that. Don't have to
no.
exert any brain power. Um, don't think about the plot too hard. Don't get too frustrated with the characters because they're not very smart. Um, I don't know. I'm in the same way. I'm gonna like it but not share it. Like I enjoyed my time is the thing. Like
Yeah,
it's a fun movie. If you're like, yeah, I have an afternoon. What's out in theaters? Infinity War ain't out yet.
exactly. Yeah.
I don't have the brain power to
That
actually
was the
think
best part
about
of the movie,
something.
by the way. Was seeing the trailer for Infinity War.
No, I disagree. I hate trailers. I wish I never had to see it.
Really?
Yeah, why? Why would I want to see that trailer?
Oh, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I just wish I didn't see it. Of
Get
course, I
hyped.
liked it because the movie's going to be great. I'm already hyped. Here's the thing: once I decided I want to see a movie, I don't need to see the trailer. It's only going to spoil stuff for me.
Okay, you know what? You're old.
That's your thing. You're old too.
I like watching trailers.
I do not.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I want to watch trailers for movies that I don't think I want to see because it does two things.
Oh my god. Might get you
Well,
hyped. Might get you hyped and it spoils the movie.
No,
All right.
no movies that I don't want to see. Listen, you're not listening.
All right, go.
Movies I don't want to see. I don't want. I'll see trailers. Movies I don't want to see because one, it will reinforce the fact that I'm like, yeah, this movie looks like it sucks, and I do not want to see it.
Okay.
And it's like, great, good job, trailer. You did your job. Number two, on the off chance that's not the case, I'm like, you know what? This actually looks interesting. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Once I know I want to see a movie, I don't ever want to see any more trailers. I literally gain nothing from it. It's all downside.
Okay.
It's all downside. I don't want to see any more. That's the only Infinity War trailer I've seen, and I know there's more floating out there, and I absolutely do not want to see them because I'm already been hyped for this movie for years. I don't need to see any trailers. It's just gonna take away from my experience
Man,
in the theater watching this movie.
that would be a good question of the week. Should you watch trailers of movies you want to see, or do you watch trailers of movies you want to see?
It's gonna be overwhelmingly yes.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely yes.
Yeah, like that's not even. I know I'm in the minority,
Yeah.
and I
Okay,
think
good. Good.
and I don't. I know that I'm in the minority,
Okay, good.
so I'm gonna concede. Here's your bonus question of the week, Ollie, and I'm just gonna concede to you
Thank you.
because I think that would be like a 90%
I'll be.
yes, and like a 5% no.
I mean, a win's a win for me, so I'll take it.
Okay, that's fine. You need a W.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, I'm liking it but not sharing it. If you have a few hours to spend, you don't want to think too hard, and you just want to look and you want to just watch something that just looks cool and is fun, like you'll enjoy your time. I think this movie's worth it. I think this movie's worth it. You're not going to go back. This is not going to be one of your favorite movies ever, but this will be fun for an afternoon, or if it goes on Netflix and you haven't seen it, definitely worth your time then.
All right. Well, I'm the same way. Like it and I share it, and I don't want to recommend it. Like I just like.
I'll recommend it. I'm not gonna recommend it over other things, but if like you don't have anything else to watch and you're jonesing to go see a movie in a theater, I think it's fine. And it's fine use of 2 hours.
Sure. Me. Go do something else. Wait for it to come on Netflix or Redbox. It's not worth theater.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Ollie, that was not our question of the week though, and we have an actual question of the week.
We do.
So, now at the beginning of the show, well, before the show started, I asked you this question of the week. And I believe, as most questions of the weeks, we were on different sides. However, I believe you may have changed your tune. Question of the week. Question of the week. This week is, do you think there's something going on with I wrote this, Sarah's Angels, with the Church of Serra? Do you think there's going on with the Church of Serra? I obviously believe yes, as stated by all my fact-finding mission earlier.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's something very fishy going on with the Church of Serra. What is it? I don't know quite yet, but there's obviously something fishy. There's something ain't right. Something ain't Christian.
Something. Yes.
This church ain't Christian. So.
No, it's Sarah. It's Syrian.
It ain't. All I'm saying is it ain't Christian.
So in a rare scenario where we agree that there's something going on, so let us know what you guys think. Question of the week: do you think something fishy is going on with the Church of Serra? Ollie and I both say yes, even though I win this poll either way because you agreed with me.
Sure.
Since I changed your mind before we even got to the question of the week,
sure.
But you won the pre-poll, so we're still 1-1 this week.
All right, deal. We're tied.
Okay, so Ollie, where can people find you?
You can find me at twitter.com/Ali Aintrazi, Twitch TV/Ali Aintrazi. Articles come out on gatheringmagic.com every Friday. This week is I made a list of the top 8 cards so far that were spoiled on Monday that I liked or hyped a brew around. So if you look at the article, feel free. Yep, that's where you find me. What about you, Parnell?
Excellent. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at jparnell1. You can also find me on YouTube and Star City Games. I'm the host of the Commander Versus series. We're in a little mid-season break right now, but we'll be back soon. Stay tuned. Watch that dial. You can find the show on SoundClouds, iTunes, and YouTube. And in some rare cases, like this one, you can find us at twitch.tv/ThinktwiceMTG. And of course, you can also find us streaming. We're still working on our weekly schedule, but you can find us streaming a few times a week on, again, twitch.tv/ThinktwiceMTG. You can contact the show on Twitter at ThinktwiceMTG, and you can email the show directly, thinktwicemtg@gmail.com. Now, we also have a Patreon, and if you're watching now, you will see 2 beautiful tokens that's on the screen of myself and Ollie in our best forms. The no donuts, #NoDonuts forms.
Yeah.
These are tokens that were created by Dios Riverdo, and they are going to be coming to our Patreon supporters very soon. We have finished the complete design, including the template. We worked with the proxy guy on Twitter to get a template. Obviously, he does some of the best work in the entire world for that type of stuff. We're going to try to be sending these to the printer once we can get the whole template finalized, even though it might be held up by our director, John Shea's computer mishap or what have you. But if you want to support the show, you can do that. Patreon.com/ThinkTwiceMTG. One of the reward tiers gets you these sweet tokens as well as a playmat that you can have signed by us. We also have different reward tiers where you can get commander deck lists from me, other brews from Ali, and if you want at a higher tier, there's a specialized. I guess what is your tier where you work with people? I'm of course blanking on it right now.
It's the Courser Ali tier. The exact tier name is.
No, I don't need the tier name, but just what it does.
Oh, you basically you send me deck, I look at it, I give you suggestions on what I think about it, what you should add, take away. This works much better with brews because with brews I can tell you I can help you out. And if you acquire 4 of those, you can put it. You can send it to us on Thinktwice, and we'll actually talk about it on a podcast. Just not have a section on it, and just talk about your deck.
Yep. And also, we may be having our Agent of Bolus tier. We might have one spot be opening up soon, and that is actually the tier where you can work with me on a deck for Commander Versus that I will play on the show. Essentially, whatever deck you want, I'll give you a few parameters and off to the races. I will let you guys know when that tier becomes available again. Obviously, there's only a set number of those that we can do. But if that becomes available, you guys will be the first to know. I also specifically want to give a shout out to our Agent of Bolus producers, which is that tier. Josh Lyons, Daniel Hunt. You guys are keeping the boat rowed. We're doing the rowing, but you're doing the whipping, and Ollie and I will row.
That's fair.
But we want to thank you guys as always for supporting the show. You guys are the absolute best. We also want to thank our graphic designer Amber West. You can find her work at her worst and her best, but mostly her best at amberwestdesign.com. We also want to thank our director and producer John Che, who will be doing absolutely nothing this episode.
Again, he's enchanted with dead weight.
Dead weight. Let's see if he can remove it by next week. But if he can't, then you're going to see this exact same format again.
So get hyped. Or not.
So get hyped. That's right.
We'll be here.
I also want to thank Ali. You are the best live Thinktwice co-host in the entire room.
Thank you.
Your room.
I want to... Oops. I want to thank...
I take it back. I take it back.
Well, I want to thank Bolus here. Thank you, Bolus. Thanks for the help on MTG Arena and this podcast. Love you, buddy.
It's looking great.
Yep.
I want to thank Bolus too.
All right,
he's done a lot. He's done a lot of good work. I think he gets a bad rap.
He does.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough being an ancient evil dragon, you know?
That's got his powers taken away. All he wants to do is get his powers back, man. That's all he wants.
Yeah. He's just trying to rule the multiverse.
Well, all we know is he's trying to get he knows what Bolus is scheming.
Yeah. I don't know. It's he just so many Bolus haters out there. Sure, he's had to completely murder a few planes, but who wouldn't do that in his situation?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the show for this week. Next week we will be back, and we're going to talk about obviously some more Magic Story. We're finally going to be getting into Dominaria cards. There will be enough previewed and revealed that we will be able to dive in fully on that next week. And we're also going to be talking about a movie that I have been looking forward to for a really long time called A Quiet Place. It's kind of a thriller horror movie. I'm super duper pumped about it. I can't wait to go see it this weekend.
Yeah. Do you see them making a sequel to that? It's called A Quiet Place. STFU.
With that, I think it's time to go. Thank you guys very much for watching and listening. Ali, thank you very much, even with your bad jokes and your even worse interludes this week. Still couldn't do it without you.
You too, buddy. Love you too. And thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.